Hey everybody, Tony D. With a final hot take of the evening. I thought we'd get away from the politics and do something more relaxing like we've done in the past, like look at Antifa videos. So, of course, I've gone to the Elijah Schaefer Twitter feed, see if he's got any good videos. He's talking a lot about the election. so, um, here's one thing from the election. Bad things are happening in Philadelphia. As a poll worker, I swear under oath, throw throw away all Trump ballots when I'm counting them. And there she is, apparently. If this is true, ma'am, I think you're in a lot of trouble. But anyhow, Andy No continues to cover Antifa. And the interesting thing is, Ted Wheeler, to give you the update on Portland in case you haven't heard, Ted Wheeler won his reelection. Now, he was running against a woman I call Little Miss Antifa, who was actually even more pro Antifa than he is. So I see Ted as sort of a kind of a slimy politician who was using Antifa to further his political career and that of the National Party. Little Miss Antifa actually believes in Antifa and considered herself part of that movement. And she was. I thought she was going to win. I called that one wrong. She actually has a dress with famous communist on it, like on her skirt. I mean, it's crazy, crazy to me. Full blown communism going on in Portland. So Ted Wheeler apparently is the bulwark against that. And as you may remember, he has refused steadfastly to call in the National Guard to stop the riots. And then suddenly, after the election, he called them in. He called them in. Isn't that interesting? The election is over, and they're throwing you idiots under the bus. So let's see. Traveling protesters amongst those arrested at post-election Portland Antifa riot. Let's take a look at this. Oh, don't start playing whatever you are video. Let's see. There we go. So you see he's got more mug shots here of the various Antifa guys. This guy looks like he got beat up pretty good. The Oregon National Guard was activated the day after the election when a marauding mob of militant Antifa smashed up businesses, property, and a church in downtown Portland. Well, looks like Mayor Ted can finally actually defend his city because now the DNC doesn't need you people anymore. I told you. I told you. In your defense, though, some of you knew that. Some of you knew that the Democrats weren't your friends. But now you're in trouble. You're not going to be rioting anymore. They're going to stomp on you. I feel bad. I told you to get out, but you don't listen. F Trump, F Biden, death to America. We want something better than this trash, and we're going to take it, tweeted YLF along with the flyer for the event. Here it is here. The Youth Liberation Front. Oh, man. It's exactly what happened in the 60s. You would have these little crazy militant groups that would pop up in the 70s, too. I remember it from the 70s. Whoever they vote for, we are ungovernable. No, you are. You're just going to jail. You're just going to jail. All of you. Most of you won't, because you'll start to see your ranks thin out as they start arresting and arresting and arresting you. And the rest of you will run away because you'll wise up and go, well, screw this. You can't do a revolution via protest. Okay? That's never happened. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of history. The people with the guns don't just suddenly go, oh, you know what? This protest is going on a long time. Oh, well, we had a good run. You can have the government. No, they don't do that. As long as the government has the arms, you will never have control, and you'll never have more guns than the U.S. government. No, 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 no. You can defend your home and homestead, but you people were against most of that. Ironically, you've kind of strengthened that by your driving gun sales through the roof. I'm sure all the gun stores are very thankful for you, but you guys have to stop, and you should. I mean, there's no one's going to back you now, although they're still kind of letting some of these people out of jail. Gerard DiFerrari, 23 of Sunrise, Florida, charged with felony riots and 2 counts of second-degree criminal mischief. The transsexual militant Antifa initially refused to identify himself and gave a fake age. Items seized from DiFerrari include commercial-grade fireworks, a gas mask, a hammer, and other riot gear. He is accused of breaking windows using a hammer. DiFerrari has a long history of militant Antifa activism. I think this is... looking at these pictures, this is DiFerrari's identity to me. This is the true identity of DiFerrari. Forget about gender. It's all about this. Whoa, this guy got beat or shot in the face with something. Jeez. So these guys just don't get it. They're gonna go to prison. Look at and this guy had a gun. You just can't do this. You can't do this. Getting back, there's another person who was arrested, transsexual. Here's one of the signs from the march. We don't want Biden. We want revenge for police murders, imperialist wars, and fascist massacres. Revenge doesn't get you anything. And, you're not getting revenge. You're not. Fascist massacres, I don't even know what that is. That doesn't happen in the United States. Police murders do. Imperialist wars, yeah. They can be counted as imperialist wars. But fascist massacres, and who are you getting revenge for imperialist wars on exactly? Who you're getting revenge. You're not the ones who were in those imperialist wars. You want revenge. None of this stuff happened to you. So, just silly. When BLM Antifa engage in political violence, says Andy No, Wheeler doesn't name the ideology or groups involved. And here's a Mayor Ted tweet. Last night's criminal destruction and attack on Commissioner Ryan's home are reprehensible. Violence, criminal destruction, and intimidation are unacceptable and will not be tolerated. Now. That all his tweets should have now after it. It's after the election. Don't need you people anymore. On November 5th, around 60 Antifa marched to the home of Portland City Council member Dan Ryan and vandalized it in retaliation for him voting against Joanne PDX proposal to defund the police. Oh, she's I believe the radical city councilwoman, or it says commissioner, Portland City Commissioner. Thank God there's a voting system in place for people to vote against this nonsense. Later, someone set City Hall on fire, but it was extinguished by security. Oh, that's a real way to get your point across, isn't it? No, don't really have any information there. Wow, that is a hearty mustache, dude. Another arrestee. Oregon has become the first state to decriminalize possession of hard drugs. Of course, we talked about that the other day. No videos, though. Lots of arrests. Oh, here we go. Antifa protester confronts Antifa videographer Dak is back, a.k.a. Daryl Kimberlin, for filming. He says, "We're cool," and then he covers the camera when comrades are around. Protester says that video is used by me to dox people. This is false. So see a little of this video. I'll put the sound down. So I guess he turns the camera away when these guys commit crimes.
Camera on people and all kinds of shit. We're cool.
I'm just happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole point of journalism. You're trying to catch something on camera, not turn it away when something goes down. November 4th, Antifa in Portland seized a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, here they are. Here they are coming into town, and here's a bunch of stuff they seized and all the damage they did. Law enforcement have arrived. This is 20 hours ago after Antifa tried mobbing the home of Portland City Council member Dan Ryan. Okay. After he was the swing vote for keeping the police funded. There they go. Good for you guys. Go get them. A mob of Antifa have descended on the home. Oh, same thing. It's another angle. And you can see they're flashing the lights. It looks like they set off some kind of flare or something. Watch how Antifa carry out organized violence on Portlandiers. Those walking by shield their comrades with umbrellas. So what happens here? It just sort of randomly starts hammering at a building. Weird. Where's the umbrellas? You're a little late, dude. He's been hammering for like 10 minutes. The church Antifa attacked last night in downtown at the riot is halting its homeless services because of the damage done to the building. Well, that makes sense because, you know, Antifa pretty much hates the homeless. Not that they don't have a beef with them. Every time they try to feed the homeless guys just steal all the food and leave because they don't want to be caught up in this. Yeah, that's about it from Andy. Just more photos. More reports from Andy. Oh, here's abolish the police signs. And this is November 5th. More of Andy and the riots. Just people marching in the street constantly. Sky News covering it. Oh, this, I can't show this. Let's see. This woman, she just starts screaming at this cop, and then she works herself up into a frenzy and then spits in his face. It was F you, fascist, F you, and then boom, spits in his face, and then that's it. Can't do that. That's a biohazard. Can't do that. You could have COVID, you could have anything. So, here's National Guard. So as you can see, Antifa. Oh, here's one. Mob of Antifa surround one man they accuse of being Proud Boy member outside the Pioneer Courthouse in Portland. Dustin Ferreira, who has been arrested multiple times for violent Antifa protests, dares the man to kill him. What? Why would you do that? I think a lot of these Antifa members are mentally ill. I really do. They've adopted this ideology in which the strategy is to get attacked and get hurt, and that's the natural next extension, right? Kill me. You know, and I think my worry is when these guys finally spiral down in their last few days, that they'll go out suicide by cop. I think that guy who killed the Trump supporter, I think that's what he did. I think he realized he was going to go to jail for the rest of his life, and he said, well, let me shoot it out if I get away, and then, you know, it was just suicide by cop. So I think we're going to see quite a bit of that towards the end of this era. Right now, I think we're in the middle of the era. These people still have a great deal of numbers, seemingly. It's not really as big as you think. I mean, you're talking about 10,000 people. They just constantly get coverage, or at least they did. Now, you don't hear about beer virus. You don't hear about Antifa anymore. The riots didn't help the DNC. Therefore, poof, they disappear. It's funny how that happens. You know, whenever it hurts the DNC, it just, for some reason, disappears from TV.